Imagine biting into a perfectly ripe avocado, creamy, rich, and buttery, the kind of food trend that's taken over brunch plates and social media feeds. It's been hailed as a superfood, a heart-healthy fat, a symbol of wellness. But what if that beautiful green fruit, and especially the oil made from it, isn't quite what it seems? What if behind the glossy skin and trendy labels lies a story of deception, degradation, and a food system that values appearance over truth? Turns out, the avocado you're eating might never have ripened the way nature intended. The oil you drizzle on your salad could be little more than a mix of cheap, inflammatory seed oils with a fancy name. And the guacamole at your favorite fast casual spot? It might not even contain real avocado at all. This isn't science fiction. It's the reality of the modern avocado industry, a global business worth billions, built on convenience, speed, and marketing, often at the expense of nutrition, honesty, and consumer trust. Let's start with the fruit itself. You've probably bought avocados that look perfect, smooth skin, just the right softness when you press them, but when you cut them open, something feels off. The flavor is flat, almost bland. There's no depth, no richness. That's not your imagination. That's the result of a process that happens long before the avocado ever reaches your kitchen. Most avocados sold in supermarkets are harvested while still hard and green, then shipped across oceans and continents. They're never allowed to ripen on the tree, where they would naturally develop their full flavor and nutrient profile. Instead, once they arrive at distribution centers, they're pumped full of ethylene gas, a synthetic version of a hormone that triggers ripening. It's a neat trick of industrial agriculture: force the fruit to soften on demand, so it arrives at stores looking just right. But here's the catch: ripening isn't just about softness. It's a biological process. When an avocado ripens naturally on the tree, it builds up complex flavor compounds, healthy fats, and phytonutrients, natural plant chemicals that support human health. These include antioxidants like lutein, which is good for eye health, and carotenoids that help reduce inflammation. When you interrupt that process with gas, you stop those compounds from forming. You get a fruit that looks ripe but isn't truly mature. It's like painting a house to look new without fixing the foundation. And that's just the beginning. Now consider avocado oil, the golden green liquid that's been marketed as a healthier alternative to olive oil, stable at high heat, rich in good fats, and packed with benefits. You've likely seen it on shelves, in sleek bottles, priced at a premium. But what's inside may shock you. Studies have found that the majority of avocado oil sold in stores is not pure. In fact, many bottles contain little to no avocado oil at all. Instead, they're filled with cheaper, highly processed oils like soybean, canola, or sunflower oil, oils that are high in omega-6 fatty acids, the kind that, when consumed in excess, can promote inflammation in the body. These are the same oils linked to heart disease, metabolic syndrome, and other chronic conditions when they dominate the diet. How is this possible? Because unlike olive oil, which has strict international standards defining what extra virgin means, based on chemical tests, taste, and production methods, avocado oil has no such rules in many countries, especially the United States. There's no legal definition of what counts as pure or extra virgin avocado oil. No governing body to enforce quality. No requirement for transparency. That means a company can take a bottle, slap 100% pure avocado oil on the label, and fill it with 90% soybean oil, and there's almost nothing regulators can do about it. And even when avocado oil is real, it's often already damaged before you buy it. Oils can go bad, not in the way milk sours, but through a process called oxidation. Think of it like rust. When oil is exposed to light, heat, or air, it begins to break down, forming harmful compounds that can contribute to inflammation and cellular damage when consumed. Avocado oil, especially unrefined, contains natural antioxidants like vitamin E and chlorophyll that should protect it. But poor handling, long storage, and clear plastic bottles expose the oil to light, speeding up this decay. The worst part? You can't smell or taste it. Because many commercial oils are deodorized, chemically treated to remove unpleasant odors, the rancidity is masked. The oil smells fine, looks clear, but inside, it's already oxidized. You're consuming something that's not just less nutritious, but potentially harmful. Packaging plays a huge role here. The best oils are stored in dark glass bottles, which block light and slow oxidation. But many brands use clear plastic, cheap, lightweight, and visually appealing on shelves. It's a marketing win and a health loss. If the bottle doesn't tell you when the oil was harvested or when it expires, you have no way of knowing how fresh it is. Some oils sit in warehouses for months before reaching consumers, degrading all the while. And what about the label, product of the USA? That sounds trustworthy, right? But it can be deeply misleading. That phrase only means the oil was bottled in the United States. The avocados could have been grown in Mexico, processed in China, blended with oils from multiple countries, and then poured into a bottle in Indiana. There's no rule requiring disclosure of where the fruit came from, how it was processed, or whether it was mixed with other oils. The supply chain is deliberately opaque, making it nearly impossible for the average shopper to know what they're really buying. Now shift your attention to restaurants. You order guacamole as a healthy side, proud of choosing something fresh and plant-based. But in many fast food and chain eateries, what arrives on your plate may be little more than a green-colored paste. Real guacamole is made from mashed avocado, lime, onion, cilantro, and salt. But commercial versions often replace most of the avocado with fillers, green peas to mimic color, starches to thicken, gums to stabilize, and cheap oils to cut costs. Some contain so little avocado they wouldn't even register on a lab test. And because they're designed for long shelf life, they're loaded with preservatives and hydrogenated fats, exactly the opposite of what you'd expect from a fresh dip. Even beauty products aren't safe from this deception. Lotions, hair serums, and face oils that claim to contain avocado oil often list it near the bottom of the ingredient list, meaning it's present in tiny amounts. The base is usually something much cheaper, soybean, palm, or mineral oil. The name avocado oil is used for its wholesome image, not its actual presence. So why does all of this matter? Because food is supposed to nourish. It's supposed to give us energy, support our cells, protect our organs. But when we're sold a version of a food that looks right but isn't real, we're not getting the benefits we think we are. We're paying more for less. And worse, we might be doing harm without knowing it. Take the fats in avocado. When sourced and handled properly, they're among the best you can eat. Avocados are naturally low in omega, 6 and high in monounsaturated fats, the kind that support heart health, reduce bad cholesterol, and help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. They're also rich in potassium, a mineral most people don't get enough of. A single avocado contains more potassium than a banana, crucial for regulating blood pressure, nerve signaling, and muscle function. It works hand in hand with sodium to keep your body's fluids in balance. Without enough potassium, you're more prone to fatigue, cramps, and high blood pressure. They also contain magnesium, fiber, and a host of antioxidants. These aren't just buzzwords, they're the building blocks of a resilient body. But all of this depends on the avocado being allowed to develop naturally, being handled with care, and being consumed in its true form. So how do you protect yourself in a system built on illusion? Start by slowing down. Real food doesn't always look perfect. A naturally ripened avocado might have a few bumps or darker skin, but when you cut it open, the flavor should be deep, nutty, and satisfying. If you buy avocados hard, let them ripen on your counter, away from direct sunlight. That way, you know they're developing at their own pace. When it comes to oil, be a detective. Look for brands that use dark glass bottles, amber or green, to protect the oil from light. Check for a harvest date or expiration date. If it's not there, that's a red flag. If the oil is crystal clear, it's likely been refined and stripped of its natural pigments and nutrients. True unrefined avocado oil should have a slight green tint, thanks to chlorophyll. If it smells neutral or slightly grassy, that's good. If it smells like nothing at all, it may have been deodorized to hide spoilage. And price matters. If a bottle of avocado oil is suspiciously cheap, ask why. Producing real avocado oil is labor-intensive. The fruit has to be harvested, the flesh extracted, the oil pressed, and the entire process done quickly to prevent oxidation. It's not something that can be mass-produced at rock-bottom prices without cutting corners. Support small producers who are transparent about where their avocados come from and how the oil is made. Some now publish third-party lab tests online, proving purity and freshness. That level of openness is rare, but it's the future of trustworthy food. As for guacamole, the safest bet is to make it yourself. Mash a ripe avocado with lime juice, a pinch of salt, maybe some chopped tomato or cilantro. It takes 5 minutes and guarantees you're getting the real thing. If you eat out, ask questions. Is the guacamole made in-house? Does it contain avocado as the main ingredient? If the server hesitates, that's telling. This isn't about fearmongering. It's about awareness. The avocado, in its true form, is still a remarkable food. It's a rare fruit that's high in healthy fat, low in sugar, and packed with nutrients. It's a food that grows on trees for months, drawing energy from the sun and soil, offering something deeply nourishing. But when it's pulled from that natural cycle and shoved into a global supply chain focused on speed and profit, it loses its soul. And this story isn't just about avocados. It's a mirror for the entire food system. How many other products are we buying based on appearance, branding, and promises that don't hold up under scrutiny? How often do we assume that if something is popular, natural-looking, or expensive, it must be good? The truth is, real quality doesn't always shine on the surface. It's in the details, the harvest date, the bottle color, the ingredient list, the way a fruit tastes when it's truly ripe. It's in the effort to look beyond the label and ask, what's really in this? Next time you reach for an avocado, take a moment. Think about its journey. Was it allowed to mature? Was it handled with care? Or was it forced, filled, and faked to meet demand? Because in the end, food is more than fuel. It's a connection, to the earth, to our bodies, to the choices we make every day. And when we choose real over fake, whole over processed, transparent over hidden, we're not just eating better. We're reclaiming something essential. The avocado isn't the problem. The system is. But every time you choose a truly ripe fruit, a properly made oil, or a homemade guacamole, you're voting for a different way, one where health, honesty, and nature come first. And that's a movement worth spreading. If you made it this far, take a second to look at the avocado in your kitchen, not as a trend, not as a toast topper, but as a symbol of what our food system has become. Beautiful on the outside, but sometimes hollow at the core. But here's the good news, you hold the power. Every time you choose a truly ripe avocado, a bottle of oil in dark glass with a harvest date, or make your own guacamole from scratch, you're voting for real food. You're saying no to deception and yes to truth. The superfood wasn't fake, just the system selling it. And now that you know the difference, you can eat smarter, shop wiser, and protect your health without blindly trusting labels. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Let's spread the word before the next trendy food gets the same treatment. Because real food shouldn't be a detective game. It should be simple, honest, and nourishing, just like nature intended. Thanks for watching.